reason that we teach meditation is because when you have things about life that you're struggling with, and law of attraction has provided a momentum about it, it is not an easy thing to stop that attraction. It just isn't. And people who are looking at their life experience from a see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it point of view, and they're witnessing what's going on, and they hear someone like us or like you talking about living happily ever after or looking for something that feels better, they think that you're out of your mind. They want you to face reality. They don't want you to live in a fantasy world. They don't want you to make things up. But what we want you to understand is that once you get it, that you are more than this physical you, and that there's another part of you that has a strong feeling about what you're thinking about and what you're looking at right here and now, and that you can find a way of feeling better, but that it's a gradual thing, then anybody can get from wherever they are to wherever they want to be. And there are some techniques that work better than others. If you were new to life, let's say, having lived a fairly satisfying upbringing, you weren't having to scrounge for food, and you weren't being beaten by your father and so forth. So you're observing life, and it's easy for you to see the good things in life. So you have a somewhat positive outlook, you might say. And something happens to you because you're asking for something more, and you focus upon something and you feel negative emotion, and you come to us and you say, what could I do? We would say, well, we've got this technique and we call it pivoting, which just means when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. So when you know what you don't want, just look at what you do want. And you might be new enough in the resistance game, and this might be such a light experience within you, and there might be so little discord between your desire and your belief about it. You don't really doubt yourself. You don't feel unworthy. You just don't like what that creep said to you. So it's easy for you to just think about what you do want. So the process of pivoting is this powerful tool that could bring you into alignment with who you are, and you could be in the receiving mode, and good things will come to you. So, Abraham, so you're going to teach pivoting to everyone? Yeah. Think about what you do want, not about what you don't want. But let's say that you've lived longer in what you don't want, and you've witnessed so much of what you don't want, and you've talked about what you don't want, and you've got a strong attraction to what you don't want. And so you come to us and you say, oh, Abraham, my life is awful. I'm living in poverty. I barely have a place to sleep. No one likes me. When I sleep in the street, they kick me. Well, we've got this process called pivoting. We have this process called pivoting. So when you know what you don't want, just focus on what you do want, all right? And you would say, what? I haven't had a bath in 5 years. I don't have any food or any money. They've taken away my tent in the gully where I've been sleeping. Pivoting is not going to work for you because there's too much a vibrational gap in your frequency. But more important, your habit of thought is such that you're not going to think a positive thought. But if you were to take a drug where your awareness of where you were was softened, that actually could cause an improvement in your vibration, but not an improvement that you could consciously focus on in a way that you could harness. When it's drug induced, when the pain disperses because of an inducement of a drug, then there's no conscious awareness of any improvement. There's no momentum about what you do want. There's just less of a reaction to the negative momentum that you've already got underway. So, if we had an opportunity, we would teach someone who has strong desire and is living in a place very different from what they're wanting to live. We would say to them, we'd like to teach you some positive thoughts, because these positive thoughts would really serve you. But these positive thoughts would feel absurd to you under your current conditions. For us to say, just think something positive about something that you've only thought negatively about for a long period of time, not only is it not going to happen, but you wouldn't even be able to find a piece of a reason to even try it. It would feel so absurd to you. But if we could show you how, by just sitting and being still for a little bit, and not trying to explain anything to anyone, and not trying to fix anything right now, because you can't get there from there. If we could show you how to just sit and observe something that doesn't require much focus, like watch a stream go by and just watch what's floating on it, or listen to something in the room that here you can hear this motor in the air conditioning. Focus on that. If we could get you to just not think for a little while, just sort of give up trying, and give up thinking, and give up the hunt for solutions. Just give up for now. Just rest. Just rest here. Just rest not only your physical body, but rest your mind. Just rest your mind by finding something to focus upon that's such a small little thought that it's easy for you to just focus there. We can teach anyone to do that. And we can teach everyone to do that much more easy than to teach you to find a positive piece of a negative thought. Because law of attraction isn't encouraging you toward positive pieces of negative thoughts. It's a whole other vibrational frequency that's going on. Does that make sense to you? So once you are able to quiet your mind, really quiet your mind, what happens is you stop attraction, you stop momentum. And once you stop momentum, once you're able to stop the momentum of those negative thoughts, if you can do that for 3 minutes today, it might take you 15 minutes to get there. It might take you an hour to get there, but we don't recommend that you sit for an hour. 15 minutes is enough. And if you get there for a minute, then that's good. And then if you do it the next day, then that's good. And if you do it the next day, then that's good. And if you do it the next day, then that's good. And if you do it the next day, then that's good. What will happen is that before very long, you'll have a difference in your vibrational frequency that is different enough that your point of attraction will show you something different in your experience. Different thoughts will literally come into your mind, and your despair will be less as a result of that. So meditation is the process that we're encouraging mostly these days for everyone, because it's easier to teach you to have no thought than it is to have pure positive thought. It just is. It's easier to quiet your mind than to take this train that's going 500 miles an hour that way and get it to go that way. It's much easier to just quiet your mind. And here's the thing that we really want you to hear. Because every time you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. You have a momentum here that is your vortex, that once you allow yourself to get in the vicinity of it, it can carry you to a really strong momentum this way. Did you ever see, Esther remembers it from her childhood playground, a merry-go-round that it was not motorized, it was just on a pole and well balanced. And the kids could get on it, and some would push and some would ride, and they would get it going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. So if you got on it before it was moving, or when it was moving very slowly, you could have success in jumping on. But if it was going fast when you approached and you tried to get on, it would just spin you off in the bushes. And so what happens through this meditation is it slows you down so that you can get on. And then, because your inner being already has momentum going, your inner being, who is so sensitive to where you are in relationship to who you are, to where you are in your physical form in relationship to where you are in your non-physical form, to where you are in your physical beingness as to where you are in your non-physical beingness. Your inner being understands your mix of energy. So once you've quieted the vibration that is moving so fast in opposition, then you can get on. And once you get on, then you begin the experience, often unconsciously, but it's so much more fun when it becomes conscious to you, of actually receiving these thoughts as you witness your desires turning to things. It really is a wonderful experience, you see. So now you know the basis of what we're reaching for here. Everyone has a mix of vibrations, and every single moment is a manifested moment. This moment right now is a manifested moment. Here we all are together. This is a manifested moment. This is a manifested moment, and it's pretty much going to be what it was going to be when you got here, because you have momentum going. So most manifested moments, not much changes in your mix of vibration. But we have an advantage here today, because you all came, you dragged your physical bodies here, your inner beings all came with you. So the vortex version of you is present along with the physical version of you, and here we are sort of focusing the vibration into the direction of what's going on over here. And so, under these conditions, it is our promise to you that your vibrational mix will shift just as a result of this conversation that we're having here today. You will become much more of a vibrational match to what you want than to where you are. You will become, by the time these hours have passed, more of a vibrational mix to the vibrational reality that you have been creating all of this lifetime and even before than you even are to the vibrational reality that you are living, because you're here, your phone calls have been suspended, mostly. You're not in communication about what's going wrong, mostly. There's a much more leaning in the direction of solution and a much less leaning in the direction of problem. And so the vibrational mix of you is shifting, which means the insights that will come to you, the understanding that will come to you, is exaggerated in an environment like this, which means since words don't teach, it's odd we offer so many of them, since words don't teach, but vibration does shift, now your point of attraction is different, and now the different things that happen to you over this day and the next and the next and the next will be meaningful as a result of the vibrational shift that is taking place. You will recognize things that you formerly could not recognize. That's why Esther has been saying she's been meditating for years, but after a while, not so consistently. Always getting ready for the weekend, always wanting to tune herself in readiness for you. But she can really feel the difference in a morning when she gets up and spends that 15 minutes quieting her mind, and a morning that she does not do that. She says, in her words, it takes the edge off of things. It puts me, she says, in a vibrational place where I have better timing about things. And most of all, and this is the part that we like the most, it makes you a conscious witness to your own vibrational acuity. It makes you a conscious witness to the universe's response to your vibrational offering. It makes you more aware of what your vibrational offering is. It makes you more keenly aware of the emotions that you are feeling. It's not as possible for you to stuff or ignore a negative emotion. It's going to stick out in a stronger way and make you more aware that there is a ripple there. We'll talk more about it as we're moving forward, but we're appreciating. Is there something more you're wanting from us?
When I talk to people today, I encourage them, take the information that we're getting here or whatever's helping you and go out in the world and live. Go out and have fun, and live life.
And some of them can hear you, and some of them don't like to hear it from you. And so here's a message that will serve you all more of the time. I'm happier now than I've ever been because I'm thinking less about trying to work my problems out. I found a way to chill, and life just works better for me when I'm chilled than when I'm fussing. Figured it out that I can't think my way out of these problems, they just get bigger. So I just started to accept it as something that was and just sort of give it up. And the more problems I give up, the more of them solve themselves without me. And of course, everything that we're talking about says the same thing, but it just sounds better to somebody than if you say, oh, there's this man who calls his wife Abraham. No. That's the funniest thing Jerry and Esther ever heard. It's sort of hard to explain what someone's not in a vibrational place of receiving. But they do want to hear that you're happy. Sometimes it is helpful for them to know that you weren't always, or even that you aren't always, and that it's okay. Because until what is okay with you, it can't improve. As long as you're pushing against what is, you're just holding it right there where it is in that uncomfortable place. So you got to make it all right with you. And it is all right because, here you are, extensions of source energy. What a wonderful thing that you are doing even being here. Do you know how much appreciation all that is feels about you being here on this leading edge, sifting and sorting and finding something that is new? You are what is putting the eternalness in eternity. You are reaching for the new. And of course, when you reemerge into non-physical, you will then receive the full benefit of what you've reached for and finally found once you reemerge. But we don't think you should have to croak to find it. We think you ought to be able to just chill out and receive some of that clarity and some of that happy right here, right now. Yes?